Hello Divination and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use transformed motion shapes as backgrounds with Divi. This is the final result we're aiming to achieve. So without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. All right, so right now I'm logged into my WordPress admin dashboard. So the first thing we need to do is to create a new page. So I'm going to come over here and hover where it says new and then click on page. So this is going to create our brand new page. Now I'm going to give this page a name. So I'm just going to call this motion shapes, use Divi builder. And for this tutorial, we're going to build everything from scratch. So I'm going to click on start building. Now, before we add any rows or modules, what we need to do is to first go into the section settings and add our colors. So I'm going to click here on this gear icon, click on background, and the colors we need to add need to be in a gradient format. So I'm going to click on the second tab here, click on the plus button, and we're going to add our first color. So our first color here is going to be white. So I'm going to add it like that. So I'm going to paste my second color in here. I'm going to paste it like that. Now, if you want to use the exact same colors as I'm using throughout this tutorial, I will leave a link in the post so that you can use the exact same colors. All right, so now that we've added our second color, our gradient type here needs to be linear and our gradient direction needs to be 306. So I'm going to go ahead and add it like that. And now we need to add the start and end position. So this is going to be both 50%. So what you'll notice that you're going to have a solid line just like that in the preview. All right, so now that we have this, the next step now is to head over to spacing. So I'm going to click here on design, spacing. So what we need to do here is to add a left and right margin, and this is going to be at 4%. Now, since this is going to be the same value, I'm going to activate this chain, and this is going to add the other value to the other side. Okay, so the next step now is to add a top and bottom padding, and this is going to be 11%. And again, I'm going to activate my chain so that my value gets added both to the top and the bottom. The next step now is to add a box shadow because we want this to really stand out. So I'm going to come over here, and the style I'm going to go with is this one here. And then next, I'm going to go to my box shadow blur strength. So here it is. I'm going to set this to 80. And what I may also need to do is to go in and change my color here. So I'm going to paste the values between the brackets like that. And then the next thing I'm going to do now is just to make sure that my box shadow position is set to outer shadow. That is very, very important. All right. So now that I have this all set, the next step now is to go to the advanced tab, visibility, and just make sure that your horizontal overflow is set to hidden. And the same needs to be done on the vertical. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to hidden. Now that I have this all set, the next step now is to add my columns. So I'm going to save this and then click on this plus button. So we're going to go with 2 columns of the same size. And then before we actually do anything in here, let's head over and go into the row settings. So I'm going to click here on this gear icon, click on design, sizing. So here we need to make sure our maximum width is set to 1580 pixels. Okay, so that's very, very important. Next, I'm going to come back over here to contents because we need to go into column 1. So I'm going to click here on this gear icon, design, spacing. And what we need to do here is to set our padding to the top to 9%. Okay, so now that I have my column 1 spacing, that is looking great. The next step now is to add a text module to column 1. So I'm going to save this, save one more time, click on this plus button and search for my text module and select it. So what I need to do now is to add my text. So I'm just going to get rid of this dummy text here, add my own, and then I am going to highlight it all and set this to heading 2 like that. All right, so now that I've set my heading 2, the next step now is to go in and customize this text because I don't want to use this default text. So let's head over here to design and then we're going to go to heading text. Now remember, we set this to heading 2. So I'm going to click on the second tab. Now here we're going to go for a different font, and this one here is called a Brill Fat Face. And here it is. Okay, so now that I have this all set, the next step now is to add my heading color. So I'm going to paste it like that. And then I'm going to set my sizes. So heading 2 text size, we're going to set this to 80 pixels. And while we're here, we might as well go into our mobile screens and set our tablet. And this one here is going to be 65. and the phone is going to be 50. Now it's very important that you go in and customize the sizes here, because you want your website to be optimized for different screen sizes. All right, so now that I have this all set, we're going to add a text module to column 1, and this is going to be another one which is going to have our paragraph text. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to save this, click on this plus button and search for my text module, select it. Okay, so I'm going to add my own dummy text in here, and I'm using lorem ipsum. So, but you can also use whatever text you want to put in there. All right, so I'm just going to highlight this and just paste my text over. So now my text has been added. Now let's head over to the text settings. So I'm going to click here on design, text, and we're going to change this to Open Sans. So let's search for Open Sans here, and here it is. Next, I'm going to add my text color. So I'm going to click on the eyedropper tool and paste my color in here. And I also need to set my line height here to 2em. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to 2em. Now this just increases the size between my lines, which makes it easier to read. All right, so now that I've added that, that's looking great. Now we need to add a button, which is going to act as our call to action. So I'm going to save this, come back over here, click on the plus button and add my button module. Now, when it comes to the text that needs to go in the button, of course, you can add whatever text you need to. And here on the link, this is where you'd add your URL where you want the button to link to. Now, that's very, very important. Now, let's head over here to design, because we need to customize this button here. So we're going to go to button and activate use custom styles for button. So now with that activated, let's start working on our button. Okay, so for our button text color, we're going to set this to white, and then moving on, we need to add our button background color. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit, click here on this plus button and add my background color like that. Next, our button border width. So you can see here it's set to 2. Now, ideally, we don't really want that. So let's get rid of that. And now we have a solid button. The next step now is to change our button font. So we're going to come over here and choose a Braille fat face, because that's the one we used here on the heading. So next we're going to head over here to spacing, and this is where we're going to make a few adjustments. So first of all, we're going to add a top padding of 20 pixels, and we're going to apply the same to the bottom as well. Now what I'm doing here is just to increase the size of my button. Next, I'm going to come to left and right. And again, I'm just going to activate my chain here just to make sure that the size is the same both sides. Okay, so this is looking great. I'm really happy with this now. I'm going to go ahead and save. And the next step now is to upload an image to column 2. So far, we've just been working on this column here. So I'm going to click here on this plus button and search for image to get my image module. And here it is. Now it's time to add my image. So I'm going to click here on this plus button. And this is the image we're going to use. Now, in your case, you can use any image size you want, but this size here is 511 by 648 pixels. So I'm going to click upload an image. And by the way, if you want to use the exact same image, I will leave a link to the post in the show notes below where you can just add this layout. All right, so now that I've added my image, that's looking great. I just need to come over here to design alignment and make sure it's aligned to the right. Next, I'm going to come over here to sizing, and I'm going to set my width to 100%. Like that. Now make sure it's set to percentage. That's very important. Now I'm going to go in here and set my size for the tablet, and here it's going to be, let's go with 50%. And that's going to be the same for a smartphone. Okay, great. So now that we've added all this, we're going to go ahead now and save. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a text module to the top here. So I'm going to search for it and select it. But what we're going to do is to leave the contents here empty. All right, so we're going to save that, and we just need to locate it and drag it above our main header. So now what we need to do is to go into this text module, which doesn't have anything in it, and add backgrounds. So I'm going to come over here, click on this plus button, because here we're going to add a gradient. So now let me add my colors. So my first color here is going to be full transparency. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm just going to drag this down a little bit and replace the contents of this value here by adding my own value, which is the RGBA. Okay. Next, I'm going to add my second color. So I'm going to come over here and just paste it like that. Right. So now that I have this all set, now here our gradient type needs to be set to linear, and the direction here is going to be 306. And then I need to add my starting and ending position, which is going to be 54%. Now let's head over to the design tab and let's go to sizing. So what we're going to do here is to set the width to 165% and the height needs to be 270%. Now it's time to add our top and bottom padding. So I'm going to click here on spacing and I'm just going to add my values here. It's going to be the same for the bottom and the top. So it's 29%. Right now, while I'm here, I'm also going to set my bottom margin. So I'm going to come over here and this is going to be 1 VW. Next, we're going to come over here to transform and we need to choose transform rotate. So while we're here, we're going to set our angles and it's going to be 270 degrees. Over here. So you can see here the shape has rotated. Next, we're going to come over here to transform skew and we're going to set this to 16 degrees. But notice that this has been applied to both sides. So you need to make sure that this chain is activated when you add your values. All right. So now that I have this all set, we're going to come over here to advanced and then go to position. So here we're going to set our position to absolute. I'm going to set my vertical offset and this is going to be minus 50%. And the horizontal offset as well is going to be minus 50%. Now let's head over here to scroll effects. So we're going to start here with the vertical scroll and let's just go ahead and activate it. Okay, so now that it's activated, I need to add my values. So the starting offset needs to be 4 and this one here needs to be minus 4. Next, we're going to come over here to horizontal and make sure you activate it. So I'm going to go in and activate enable horizontal motion and pretty much this is what we need to do. So you can see here as I'm scrolling, it is moving while I'm scrolling on the page. Okay, so that looks great. I'm going to save this and let's save this one more time and exit the Visual Builder. Okay, so let's just test it one more time. So there we go. You can see it scrolling. Now, if you want to go in and add another version of this, it's a matter of going in and changing all your scroll effects. So you can achieve this by just going in and changing a few values on this item that we've already gone in and made our changes to. So here in the second example, you can see that the movement is from right to left as I'm scrolling. And as I mentioned, you can achieve this by just changing the positions of this text item that we added. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and do follow us on our social media platforms. By doing so, you'll be notified every time we release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.